David Chang, EatAPeach. Immerse yourself in the inspirational journey of David Chang, a renowned chef who overcame countless personal and professional challenges to revolutionize the American dining scene. In the book EatAPeach, Chang discusses his experiences growing up in a Korean immigrant family in Virginia, his struggles with mental health, and his relentless pursuit of success within the culinary world. Discover the key factors that influenced his unique approach toward cooking and explore the crisp, unapologetic essence of his celebrated Momofuku restaurant empire. Dive into the story of a man who fiercely challenged the boundaries of traditional cuisine and, in turn, became a celebrated innovator in the field of gastronomy.
Unraveling Chang's culinary journey. David Chang, the renowned chef, discovered his passion for cooking relatively late in life. Growing up in Virginia, Chang's relationship with his Korean immigrant parents was fraught, leaving him with a desire to please them but feeling unsuccessful. Golf was an early outlet, but a growth spurt left him feeling like a disappointment. He found temporary solace in theology before stumbling upon the culinary world, where he thrived. During his childhood in Virginia, Chef David Chang had a tumultuous relationship with his Korean immigrant parents. His father was particularly tough on him, frequently scolding and punishing him, making Chang long to satisfy and please his parents. However, he never quite felt like he was enough, as he was an average student in academics. Despite the lack of a culinary theme running through his formative years, his upbringing contributed to a unique approach he later took in the culinary scene. The only area where he made his father proud at first was on the golf course. Beginning at the age of 5, he won consecutive Virginia state championships when he was 9. But even as a golf prodigy, his father's high expectations persisted. His decision to cease being ambidextrous, one of the few skills Chang took pride in, was influenced by his father's fear that it would compromise his golf swing. As a teenager, a growth spurt interfered with Chang's golf swing and ultimately dampened his prowess in the sport, making him feel like a constant disappointment to his father. In addition, Chang felt embarrassed by the distinctly Korean meals his mother cooked, and his family's Koreanness as a whole. However, his fond memories of eating sushi with his grandfather during his childhood provided a spark of culinary motivation. In college, Chang chose to study theology, not out of passion but because it was easy for him given his strongly religious background. After graduation, he taught English in Japan for a while and then worked in finance, but he found these jobs unfulfilling. Chang started contemplating a more satisfying career path, eventually recalling his experience working as a busser and bartender's assistant during college. Deciding to take a leap of faith, he left his finance job, enrolled in a 6-month program at the French Culinary Institute in New York City, and discovered a deep passion for cooking. The rest is history, as David Chang's culinary journey began to evolve into the remarkable success story it is today. Chang's culinary journey and struggles. At age 22, Chang felt he was far behind his cooking peers. Seeking growth, he took jobs in the kitchens of Mercer Kitchen and Kraft, valuing the daily opportunities for fresh starts. However, Chang also battled depression during his kitchen career, seeking solace in Dr. Elliott's office. Unwilling to follow the traditional chef's path, Chang committed to carve his own way in the culinary world. Starting late in the cooking world at 22, Chang was eager to catch up to his peers, who had been cooking since 16. Determined to learn, he worked full-time at Mercer Kitchen, while also answering phones at Tom Colicchio's restaurant, Kraft. Chang admired Colicchio's influence on modern American culinary tastes, which stood in stark contrast to the complicated, Eurocentric fine dining scene. Chang's persistence led to learning opportunities in the kitchen with the cooks at Kraft. Despite initial challenges and embarrassment, he embraced a fresh start with each new day and eventually earned a paid position after 6 months. Later on, Chang left Kraft for Café Boulud, with the aim to overcome his wariness of French-style kitchens. He experienced some of the most labor-intensive tasks in his career while working there. However, the sophisticated cuisine left Chang feeling disillusioned, as it did not resonate with the kind of food he wanted to cook or eat. As Chang navigated the culinary world, he concurrently struggled with depression. Personal problems involving his family and a lack of direction in his career led to heavy contemplation of suicide and substance abuse. A distressing incident eventually pushed him to seek professional help from Dr. Elliot. During therapy sessions with Dr. Elliot, Chang unraveled the themes underlying his depression: feelings of inadequacy, not fitting in, and a belief that life was senseless and arbitrary. In the process, he realized that he didn't want to follow the conventional path of a chef. Through determination and self-reflection amid the storms of his life, Chang resolved to forge his unique path in the culinary world. Breaking dining boundaries. While in Japan, Chang experienced a more egalitarian dining scene, where people from different economic backgrounds could indulge in high-quality food. With this in mind, he took a significant risk in founding the now successful restaurant, Momofuku Noodle Bar. Against considerable odds, including lack of funding and industry expectations, Chang's vision of creating a more inclusive dining experience in America began to materialize. Absorbing Japanese culinary wisdom during his tenure at an izakaya, Chang was enlightened by the contrasting approach to dining when compared to America. In Japan, customers from various financial backgrounds dined side by side in informal, yet high-quality eateries. This observation led Chang to question why American dining seemed exclusionary, as he developed a conviction that integrating Asia's more egalitarian style could flourish stateside. His belief in the potential of underground food going mainstream guided Chang's career, ultimately culminating in the establishment of Momofuku in 2004. However, his endeavor appeared precarious at the outset, as he defied conventional wisdom by opening a ramen shop without years of working under renowned chefs. Additionally, most Americans associated ramen with cheap, microwavable meals, further fueling skepticism around Chang's idea. Despite these challenges and finding himself without a location or funds, he persevered. Through sheer determination, Chang located an ideal venue, a small former fried chicken joint with high foot traffic. Yet, he still faced the daunting prospect of securing financial backing. Swallowing his pride, Chang approached his father with a bold plea: invest in him this one time, or lose the opportunity altogether. Remarkably, his father not only consented but also joined several Korean friends to provide Chang with a $100,000 loan. Now armed with financial support, Chang still required a talented chef as a partner to share his vision. He placed an advertisement on Monster.com and found Joaquin Quino Baca, a cook disenchanted with his current high-end French restaurant job. With no alternative prospects, Baca teamed up with Chang, and together they embarked on their journey by opening Momofuku Noodle Bar. Against all odds, Chang's gamble paid off, as he successfully shattered the boundaries of conventional dining in America. Drawing from his invaluable experience in Japan, he pushed forth a more approachable and enjoyable dining experience for all, a vision that continues to resonate today. Unconventional success of Momofuku. In the beginning, Momofuku Noodle Bar was directionless with a random menu and a chaotic environment. On the verge of failure, founders Chang and Quino discovered their niche by combining their cultural backgrounds and creating unique dishes that appealed to their chef friends. Although their restaurant became a runaway success, Chang's temper and struggle to balance his passion for food created challenges and attracted criticism. Momofuku Noodle Bar's early days were marked by confusion and uncertainty. Founders Chang and Quino created a menu that was a haphazard collection of snacks and soups, lacking focus and direction. Overwhelmed by the tasks of running the restaurant, they couldn't find the time to evaluate their approach or understand why their venture was struggling. When they were almost out of funds, the duo realized that conforming to expectations was holding them back. They initially thought their customers wanted dishes like dumplings, but soon discovered that there was no need to adhere to preconceptions of a noodle bar. In fact, few Americans were familiar with the term. The restaurant's popularity within their industry peers forced them to reflect on their business model and try something different. Chang and Quino's breakthrough came when they decided to focus on creating unique dishes that drew inspiration from their diverse backgrounds and the culinary tastes of their chef friends. They combined Quino's Mexican-American heritage with Chang's Korean and Japanese influences, all while incorporating elements from various cuisines. Their innovative new menu quickly attracted attention and resulted in a constant influx of customers. However, the success came with challenges. Chang struggled with stress, alcohol, and anger outbursts directed at his staff. The open kitchen design meant that customers witnessed his outbursts, leading to a public backlash against his behavior. Chang himself acknowledged the incongruity between the intense effort chefs put into their work and the transient nature of food, a concept that generated conflict when colleagues failed to share his deep passion. In the end, Momofuku Noodle Bar became a surprise sensation due to its willingness to defy conventional norms and celebrate a fusion of culinary styles. However, as with any success story, it came with its share of trials and tribulations. Embracing change for success. Following the success of Momofuku Noodle Bar, Chang opened Sam Bar, initially offering a fast food experience with customizable wraps. However, its initial concept did not resonate well, and the talented chefs were bored. Adapting to this, Chang revamped the menu, creating a more elevated version of his first restaurant which led to multiple James Beard Award nominations. Despite facing emotional struggles, Chang embraced stress as a motivator, urging chefs to develop new dishes under challenging conditions and keeping the restaurant's atmosphere unpretentious. This approach led to further acclaim with Momofuku Co., solidifying Chang's recipe for success. After the triumph of Momofuku Noodle Bar, David Chang decided to venture into new realms with the innovative Sam Bar. Sam, which translates to wrap in Korean, aimed to deliver a sophisticated fast food experience, offering customizable wraps with various fillings. The original concept, however, failed to captivate the public's attention. Undeterred, Chang began a culinary transformation, utilizing the creativity of the gifted chefs who joined his team. Sam Bar evolved into a refined version of Momofuku, known for its delectable Korean bo sam. This transformation caught the attention of the culinary world, leading to nominations and even a James Beard Award for Chang as Best New Chef. Coping with the growing popularity of his creations, Chang found himself caught in a cycle of overconfidence and self-doubt. Paradoxically, he harnessed stress as a driving force, encouraging his chefs to innovate, even during seemingly ill-timed moments, like right before opening. This strategy was rooted in his belief that deadlines facilitate decision-making, sparking ingenuity under pressure. Chang's ethos of undersell and overdeliver kept the atmosphere decidedly unpretentious in every Momofuku restaurant. With minimal decor, loud noise, and backless stools, the focus remained on the food. Embracing this mentality, Chang and his team opened Momofuku Co., a no-frills tasting restaurant. Despite battling mental health issues, Chang viewed each challenge in the kitchen as a personal growth opportunity, which ultimately contributed to his staggering success. David Chang's turbulent journey. The high point of David Chang's career as his restaurant Momofuku Sam earned accolades coincided with a low point in his personal life. In response, Chang expanded his business, opening the first Momofuku locale in Sydney, Australia. Despite tasting success across the ocean, his personal life continued its downward trajectory. During this time, Chang mentored a young, talented cook, tragically losing him to an accidental overdose. David Chang, at 35, had achieved immense recognition when his restaurant, Momofuku Sam, was ranked among the world's 50 best. However, staff departures and a deteriorating mental state led him to explore new horizons in Sydney, Australia. There, Chang opened Momofuku Siobo within a hotel-casino complex, distancing it from the bustling gaming floor. The unexpected location became yet another success in the Momofuku family. Despite his professional achievements, Chang's personal life remained tumultuous. While he worked abroad, his parents faced serious health issues, and he lost friends to tragic circumstances. Struggling to cope, Chang distanced himself from his troubles by focusing on work in Sydney. This distance led to self-destructive behavior, including heavy drinking and worsening anger issues, culminating in a near-deportation incident. Amidst the darkness, Chang found hope in mentoring a 17-year-old American cook with immense potential. Envisioning the young chef taking charge of Momofuku Noodle Bar's kitchen one day, Chang invested in his growth. Tragically, this newfound hope was short-lived. After addressing complaints about the young chef and planning for a talk in New York, the young protégé succumbed to an accidental overdose. This loss weighed heavily on Chang, the Momofuku team, and he felt they had failed the young chef. In the face of professional triumphs, Chang's personal struggles unveiled the challenges that result from navigating the bittersweet moments that life so often presents. Overcoming toxic mindsets. Chang's therapy sessions evolved from being a mere venting place to a transformative journey after the loss of his mentee. He began dismantling his problematic beliefs, and with the help of both a therapist and an executive coach, Chang addressed his underlying issues, including bipolar disorder and affective dysregulation. Reflecting on the feedback he received from others, Chang realized his role as a leader involves listening, acknowledging, and prioritizing others' needs, and he committed to improving himself. Initially, therapy had provided Chang an outlet to express his anxieties. The death of his mentee, however, made therapy a support that was crucial for survival. With Dr. Elliot, Chang started breaking down the harmful beliefs he held about himself and the world. They began by addressing the passing of his mentee, with Dr. Elliot guiding Chang to recognize that self-blame was an egocentric viewpoint. Chang's mentee's life went far beyond their relationship. As part of his healing process, Chang quit drinking, which granted him mental clarity to confront his depression and anger. Ashamed of his Korean heritage since childhood, he used substances to escape the constraints of his identity. Momofuku additionally offered him a new sense of self. Despite being aware of Chang's bipolar disorder, Dr. Elliot withheld the diagnosis to focus on their therapeutic work. Upon revealing this diagnosis, Dr. Elliot also informed Chang of his affective dysregulation, explaining that his outbursts resulted from an inability to process events accurately. Chang's mind would perceive any mishap as sabotage, leading to rage-filled blackouts. To supplement therapy, Chang enlisted the help of an executive coach, Marshall Goldsmith. Goldsmith's approach went beyond addressing leadership flaws. He collected feedback from those closest to Chang at Momofuku. Encouraged by positive remarks, Chang started reflecting on whether he had been too harsh on himself. However, the criticism confronted him with an uncomfortable truth. Surprisingly, many loyal to him could hardly tolerate him. Remorseful, but eager to change, Chang now understood that his role as a leader involved eating shit, listening, accepting his errors, engaging in difficult conversations, and prioritizing others. Before hiring Goldsmith, Chang believed that employees leaving the company were abandoning him. Goldsmith explained that this assumption exposed his narcissistic belief that his staff existed solely to serve him. Inspired by this revelation, Chang embraced the challenge to become a better leader. Challenging cultural truths. David Chang's experience with bipolar disorder served as a catalyst for confronting cultural discrimination and questioning the validity of certain cultural truths in the world of cuisine. By doing so, he attempts to challenge preconceived notions of Asian and Korean cuisine's value in the market. David Chang found inspiration during a nighttime visit to Chick-fil-A, a fast food chain notorious for their leadership's public opposition to same-sex marriage. Despite acknowledging their delicious sandwiches, he chose to create a fried chicken sandwich that not only rivaled the taste but also stood as a symbol against spreading intolerance. This led to the creation of Fuku, a clever play on his own Momofuku brand, and a bold message to those who mocked or took Asian culture for granted. At Fuku's first location, Chang displayed posters of offensive Asian stereotypes found in American pop culture, like Odd Job from Goldfinger and Gogo Yubari from Kill Bill. He used packaging featuring the misspelled word "delicious" to force white customers to confront their support of cultural oppression. As Fuku flourished, Chang noticed that much of the cultural commentary was lost on the public. Nevertheless, he sought to further target American identity and get people to question what they held true. One such question was why Italian food was considered valuable and priced higher, while Asian food was often expected to come cheap. This query led to the creation of Nishi, a high-end Italian-Korean fusion restaurant featuring inventive dishes, like a cacio e pepe pasta made with chickpea hosen. Later, Chang began embracing his Korean heritage at new restaurants Majordomo in Los Angeles and Kawi in New York. Previously, he had felt an impulse to protect Korean traditions from outside interpretation, especially as they seemed more reserved than their Japanese counterparts. As he became more comfortable highlighting Korean cuisine, Chang started incorporating it more prominently into his menus. David Chang's life as a bipolar individual drew parallels to the myth of Sisyphus, who was eternally doomed to push a boulder uphill. He had a choice: to surrender to darker impulses or to live with purpose like Sisyphus. Resilient in his fight, Chang chose the latter, confronting and challenging widely accepted cultural truths head-on.
David Chang's EatAPeach is an inspiring account of overcoming personal hardships to achieve culinary mastery. Through the lens of Chang's journey, readers are introduced to the unique cultural experiences that shaped his identity and worldview, ultimately resulting in the explosive success of his groundbreaking Momofuku restaurant series. Chang's transformative path also illustrates the invaluable role of introspection in both personal growth and professional success. The narrative, which transitions from struggles with family dynamics to discussions of mental health, encourages reflection on the various factors that contribute to an individual's singular journey. By challenging conventional norm, Chang proves there is no one-size-fits-all formula for success, and emboldens readers to forge their own paths and write their own stories.